I mean, I can mute mine.
Coming to you every week from no place in particular. This is the Forever Road podcast featuring Bosco. He's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down the Forever Road, here's Bosco.
Trying to pause that thing. Forever Road podcast. I am Bosco. This is joining me today is Bubba and Bubba Doo. Sorry,
Bubba Doo.
the God Turtle or just Turtle. Is it the God Turtle? Just Turtle. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, there we go. How y'all doing? What's going on? I ain't seen your faces in about 24 hours. Well,
Yeah,
I saw him yesterday.
18 hours.
Something like that. Something like that.
I seen you online. That's close enough.
Yeah. Man, it's been a pretty good week. Of course, this upcoming week, I'm kind of looking forward to, but I think it's going to be a little bit more laid back. Got a little bit of work to do, but I have yet to cut my grass. How about y'all?
Finally got mine done and my butt hurts.
What about you, Bubba?
We just got ours cut by a neighbor. He dragged something behind his tractor to our yard. Yeah. For free. For free? Yeah.
Nice.
It's always nice when it's free.
Won't be too much longer. Mine will be getting done for free, except for the gas and the maintenance. Jason will be able to do it.
Yeah, have him ride around on that John Deere truck, or the John Deere mower you got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's see. Prior to this, oh, by the way, I got a little announcement. I don't know if you, Bubba, you remember. I don't know if you remember, Turtle. Happy birthday to EJ Lopez. His birthday is today.
Yeah, I remember EJ. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I remember him. Happy birthday, EJ.
It dawned on me that today's the 14th, and I was like, so I called him. He's on his way. Should be on his way. It should be on his way back from. I think he said he was going to stop in D.C. somewhere on his way back down. He had to go take his kids back home. So, but he's on his way back, and I hopefully he has a good, safe trip on his way back. But Lachey is home. She's been home on doctor's orders. Just a little update on her. I know that we discussed it last on our last episode, and that's about all I got as far as updates. I've been working my behind off every day this past week. I did kind of have a partial off day Friday. I had to go into work this morning to work on some things, but aside from that, just been working and trying to do the research for this episode here. That it's got a pretty little quirky history, doesn't it?
It's different. Definitely different.
Everybody knows that I'm a big gearhead, so is Bubba and Turtle as well. But something just piqued my interest, and I wanted to talk about this subject. And like I said in the reel, that I was like, well, if people go, hopefully people are going to be in the chats, and then we can interact with them. And let us know what on a Cannonball Run. There's Foxy. There she is. She made it. Yay. Welcome in.
Yay.
And, Cannonball Run. So, anybody, I'll let you go. Y'all, either one. Whoever wants to go first. What is Cannonball Run for those that don't know?
Well, it's a bet. That's really what it is. It's a bet.
Yeah.
It's a bet to go from coast to coast. That's how it started. It was a $50 bet, which when the bet was made, $50 was quite a bit of money.
What was that, 1913?
I don't know, something like that.
It was early 1900s. The cars.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Huh?
Don't say it like that. Early 1900s.
Early 1900s. I can't remember because I didn't do any notes this time. Huh?
Just winging it.
We're from the late 1800s or 1900s.
Oh, gosh.
That's why I said don't say early 1900s anymore. It's derogatory towards us old folks.
Let's see. Trying to figure out when the. Let's see there. Let's go. Trying to remember. I knew that part.
Trying to find the timeline.
Yeah, I was trying to recall. I had the article pulled up, but like a dummy, I X'd it out. When the first time the guy did it, like even before the highway interstate system and all that.
Yeah, you're talking about the first guy that did it.
Yeah, the first guy that did it way back.
It was a $50 bet that he could drive a car from coast to coast. That was the bet. So he did it, and he did it in it was like 3 months or something like that.
Yeah. From New York to LA, it'll take me 3 months.
Yeah, it was like 1812, 1820, somewhere in there. Weird timeline.
But yeah, so there's a $50 bet.
$50 bet, and there was a bunch of other attempts at the bet. And the vehicles just got faster and better and faster, and maybe
the roads got
so much better, and the roads got better, and the path became much cleaner. And then, God, oh yeah, I got my
interstate
notes.
became available.
Well, then you had in 1930s, you had Edwin Baker, better known as Edwin Cannonball Baker, or Edwin Cannonball Baker, which is where the name Cannonball comes from. But he started out with like motorcycle dirt racing, is where he got his racing background from. And then, wow, oh shit, he held the record. I don't remember exactly what they said.
Yeah, Horatio Nelson was the first guy.
Something like that. Whatever that video said.
Good job on the research.
Hell yeah!
We got
like 100 times
because we were born in the late 1900s, Foxy.
Yeah. So anybody born before 2000, if you hand your ID card over at the gas station because you're getting carded, All they got to do is see the 19, and they know you're old enough. Isn't that sad?
I still get carded. But if you go to certain gas stations, then they have to scan your ID to buy tobacco. And
Oh my God,
I'm like,
I haven't
Mississippi!
reached that age yet, but
Thank God, don't do it. Just don't even do it. Just don't even hassle with that stuff. About to legalize a whole bunch of other things, anyways.
yeah. So I ask you this. I present to you, and you can respond in the chats as well. So, I mean, just to think of that, this guy takes, he has a wild idea, makes a bet with his buddy. Okay, I'm gonna run from New York to LA in this car, especially, in the early vehicles. Take you 3 months. Of course, what they drove at the top speed of maybe 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So,
No less than a
you
horse.
cruise through a neighborhood in 30, at a little less than 30 miles an hour.
Right.
That, and then the suspension, how rough that was on somebody's back too. Good Lord, 3 months, nah. But I mean, they're for the adventure at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I get tired after 3 hours of driving. 3 hours of driving, I'm like, okay, let me pull over, stretch my legs for a minute.
I could drive from the southernmost tip of Georgia all the way to the northernmost tip at the longest route possible and not be bothered.
So, what vehicle are you taking? Turtle. What do you? Well, I already know. We've already talked off screen about this whole thing. So we'll get to that in a minute. But okay, so if you had, and for the race for this topic, what are you taking on a Cannonball Run?
Something modified. It would be purpose built.
Who is it? Richard Rollins from Grease Monkey or Gas Monkey Garage?
Yeah.
Richard Rollins did this, and he claimed to have beat the record.
Yeah, whatever.
Of course, anybody can say whatever they want to, but
I don't believe half of what he says.
Well,
he's a TV guy.
Yeah.
Former cop. He was a police officer, and obviously you have your views on cops. Everybody's going to have their own personal views, and I'm not going any direction on that. I'm just stating that he was a former cop, but his love of cars after he got out of the police force, he was shot in the arm or something. He got out. His love of cars led him to become. It's actually L.A.
I thought it was LA too.
Oh no, the first run I think was New York, San Francisco. But anyway, so Richard's love of cars led him to basically what he is now, just one thing after another.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ran the Cannonball twice. Once, I think. I don't remember. I don't really pay attention to none of that stuff because I got my own personal opinions on him personally.
Yeah, I mean, we're go take away the personal opinions and all that. We're not here to do that, but
right.
Yeah. So what are you talking about modified? Like, what's your vehicle choice, and what's your soundtrack and
well, see, the soundtrack that's easy.
As we said, we're not fat, we're not skinny people.
No,
gotta take food.
See, and that's what I mean. It really depends on the situation at the time. If I started building now to run it next year,
right,
or maybe the year after that, because the build may take a while. If I were to do it in the next 2 years, I would pick something inconspicuous with a lot of room, lightweight, hybrid.
You think a hybrid?
I think it would be an advantage, not that it would be better.
You wouldn't have to
Strategically
stop that much for
thinking,
gas.
exactly.
Right. All
See
right,
what I mean?
Bubba, what you got?
And I don't need a charging station for a hybrid, but in the next 2 years, next 5 years, that's kind of what I'm thinking, because I don't know what's going to happen with gas operated vehicles. Nobody really does.
Yeah.
Our government's already doing crazy stuff as it is. So it's like, we don't know, but we know a hybrid's right there in the middle. So in the next 5 years, internal modifications, yeah, it'd be easy to do with a hybrid.
Rat Mitchards. Did I say that? I said it. I said it correctly, but I know his real name. The guy, he's in the chat. He says no hybrid can sustain high speed for any distance. Which, from what I understand, he's right on that note. I've heard some pretty interesting stories doing the research on this. Of course, this topic is what inspired the movie, and if anybody's older, for those of us who were born in the late 1900s, we know the movie Cannonball Run 1 and 2. This illegal race, real actual race, inspired the movie by Hal Needham, who did Smokey and the Bandit, and he was one of the highest paid stuntmen that ever come out of Hollywood. But so that's him actually being in the actual race himself. If I remember correctly, what the research showed, that driving a big block Dodge van in the actual race,
360.
like I said, yeah. Well, see, I've heard it was a 360 van. They swapped the 383 into it, and then I heard it
318 van. They swapped a 360 in it.
Oh,
well, they said it in the documentary, the rockumentary thing that I watched.
Yeah. But it was pretty interesting to see all the different types of vehicles that were used in it, like the first couple ones, and I don't even know. So Cannonball Run, real life coast to coast car race that began in 1971. The race's official name is Cannonball Baker Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash. Say that 3 times fast.
No, thank you.
That's
why they changed it to NASCAR.
And that is named after Irwin G. Cannonball Baker, a race car driver who crossed the U.S. over 140 times. The race starts at Red Ball Garage in New York City, and ends at the
Portofino
Inn, Redondo Beach, California.
It's actually in Anaheim.
So Foxy could probably tell you exactly where it is, because she's over there in that neck of the woods, and I think you were born or hatched there. Whatever.
I've been there several times.
Turtles come from an egg, so you're hatched.
My parents found me under a rock on Fiesta Island. Ask Pop, that's what he'll tell you. Mm-hmm. You've heard it.
That's
he knows me. He's just fooling around. That's my friend from South Carolina. He's a big music guy. We got to have him on sometime.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he like row your boat.
Yeah, he's a big fan of that.
But me, I'm like I said, how many bathroom breaks is going to take? Because when you're on blood pressure meds like me, well, You're gonna stop at the state line, and then the next state line, and then the next state line.
Run a catheter to the floor. Think I haven't thought about it?
Yeah.
Liquid diet.
No snacks. I mean, you got to have sustenance.
Yes, you do have, but you have dry snacks like trail mix and beef jerkies, stuff that keeps you plugged up so you don't have to poop. Dude, it's fucking 24 hours.
How many?
If you go over 24 hours, there's no point even to do it. If you don't beat it in 24 hours, there's no point in doing it. I mean, just for the nostalgia of doing it, yeah, because that's how I would do it. I would start at the Red Ball in a big ass Mercedes.
Which Mercedes is the big one?
The big Mercedes van, the big Sprinter vans.
Yeah,
fully decked out and everything, and I would just slowly cruise my ass from the Red Ball all the way to the Portofino.
27 hours and 25 minutes average speed of 103 miles an hour, and that was by Berkeley Chadwick in 2019. Nito Men.
Wait.
Cabot, Berkeley. Huh?
You said in 2019?
Yeah, that's what it said.
That was the Captain Chaos kids that they did it during COVID though.
So nobody was on the road anyway.
Does it really count? You see what I'm saying though? Like that's the argument is that they didn't do it under normal conditions, whereas everybody else did it under normal conditions with weather hazards, police hazards, traffic hazards. There was none of that during COVID.
Right.
So did they really do it under the right circumstances? I mean, congratulations on going across the United States that fast. Awesome job. Yeah. I am not taking that away from them because that's still a feat in itself. But did they really do the cannonball?
I mean, I figured, I don't know. Now, 2019, when did COVID really hit?
March.
March of 2020?
19. Well, 2020.
Yeah, March of 2020.
Yeah, March of 2020. But the outbreaks were already starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I got it. I know how I got it.
No, wait. The guys you're talking about, what was their time?
This dude right here. He's over here in the middle.
COVID miserable.
Cannonball record was broken repeatedly.
It has been. It will be. Everybody's going to beat it now. That's the sad part. Everybody's going to beat it.
Okay. He said there's a secret. Hold on. Where'd it go? I meant to click on that one. The secret route the motorcycle guys use is Jacksonville to San Diego. Is that
that's the that's the which one is that? It's one of the coast to coast ones. It's not considered cannonball. There's also another one called the musket ball where they use big jalopy like 70s, 80s Cadillac size cars, like big limos and shit.
Hell yeah.
I think it's called the musket ball. Iron
I'd like
Butt
to do that one.
The Iron Butt Award's only a 1,000-mile journey. I've got a few of those, and they really do suck.
It'd be like,
you ever been out to Texas just because?
No, matter of fact, the farthest I've ever been.
That's making my back
is
tense up.
I had to go
thinking about it.
Huh?
I said that was making my back tense up just thinking about Iron Butt. God, that ride sucked.
I went to St. Louis when my great grandmother passed away. That's far. That's the only time I've ever been west. And that was in 93, so I wasn't driving.
Right.
Now we rode up in my aunt's, as we called it, 7-passenger bus, Ford Aerostar.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
V6 Ford Aerostar all the way up.
The family cruiser.
Yeah.
My first cross-country trip was in a big Dodge conversion van. It's from San Diego all the way to Pensacola and then up to Warner Robins, Georgia.
Dodgy van.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a converted Dodgy van. Yeah, it was. It still had the 4-wheel drive on it and everything. I remember Pop playing around with it. Yeah, my first drive across the United States was from Jacksonville, North Carolina, all the way over to San Diego in a 92 Ford Tempo. Took 2.5 days. And a transmission.
Mm-hmm. A Ford Tempo.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
Actually, it drove wonderfully until the transmission went out in Texas. And then my buddy paid for the brand new transmission to be put in it. And then I drove from there. That was in Dallas. I drove from Dallas all the way out to San Diego, dropped him off, and then I drove myself all the way from San Diego back to Warner Robins.
Right.
And had no problems out of that car. Matter of fact, I didn't have any problems out of it until I sold it.
So I just thought of another question.
Oh God.
What's the worst vehicle that you've ever owned? Well, we'll get to Bubba here in a minute. Would you, Bubba? would you do the Cannonball Run in your Durango?
I thought about, to your question, what would you do it in? I thought about answering it, with the Durango, but seats aren't that comfy. I mean, they're all right, but I'd probably try it.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it for speed,
myself,
but yeah.
I could see myself trying it because it's a pretty comfy ride.
They got pretty decent suspension.
And once it hits 70 or 80 and gets in, overdrive, it rides pretty good.
Yeah. They're not bad.
It's like my 94. It's weird. Like my 94, the General, it loves 70 miles an hour. I'll get on the interstate and it just rides out. I could ride. If I had a never-ending fuel supply in that truck, as long as I got my foot in it, it'll go.
Right.
But when it starts jamming up in traffic and all that, and it's just kind of like
just sitting and idling,
it gets up to it hits 70 pretty quick. I mean, for a basically stock 360 Magnum. But now that 2007 with the 4.7 in it, I would drive the General. Between the vehicles I have now, I would drive the General on that run if I had to do it. I wouldn't even take my 07 with the air conditioner and the nice radio and all that.
I wouldn't take my Jeep.
Oh, no. Yeah, Death Wobble.
No, it's not even about Death Wobble. You know why Death Wobble is caused? People putting aftermarket rims and tires, those big-ass heavy things on their front end of their Jeeps without changing out the steering. That's why. That's how you get Death
upgrading
Wobble.
The steering.
But I even going stock Jeep, not a new one, the JK model, a stock 14 like I have with an auto, I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because even at 80 miles an hour, it cruises fine. It just set it and forget it. Cruise control and everything, air conditioner, it'd be comfortable as hell to me. But the view span is obsolete. That Jeep is a blind spot, and you have to know how to be in a confined vehicle like that in order to drive a Jeep that far comfortably. Plus, it's a Jeep. Why the hell would you drive a Jeep that far?
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt that little 3.6.
So what's the worst car that you've ever owned? And even in the chats, if y'all got something, you want to share it in the chats. Worst vehicle you've ever owned on this same Cannonball Run. I'll go first.
Oh.
1989 Mazda 626.
Share a picture with the
think-
class.
Oh, he's calling you out on it too.
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
have
just
a
look
picture
up
of
a picture on Google
Oh,
and
Oh.
share it. Because I don't know what it looks like personally.
what
So.
year was it?
89.
Hatch. Was it a hatch?
No, it was 4-door.
Okay. So you had the sedan.
When did you own it?
2000. I had it for about a year. 2001, 2, somewhere like that.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of the worst car I've ever owned. I've never really had a bad car.
Well, I'm just saying the worst car out of what do you think would be the worst car that you owned? And then
That's what I'm saying. Like,
making
I've never
this
really owned a trash car, like something I would be like, yeah, I'm not driving that across country. I've never actually owned a car that I wouldn't drive across country. Okay, I take that back. I've owned one car I would not drive across country because I can't afford it, and that was my Nova. But that wouldn't be legal in quite a few of the states I'd have to go through.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep. 66. On eBay with free shipping. Shit, I got $20. Fucking free shipping? Come on.
And later on, I ended up buying, I think it was an 83 model for $50 or something like that, $75, I think. And all it needed was a battery. But
was this when I was young?
It was about the time you were born.
I remember
Well, I mean,
a couple of small cars that I have no explanation for. You know, when I was like real little,
yeah.
that you drove, and I don't remember what they were. I just remember it was kind of, thinking back, it's kind of funny seeing you drive that. You know, like damn, what was he
Like a
doing
lot
in
of
that?
smoke.
The Hondas.
Yeah.
Oh, was you a
Yeah.
Honda boy too?
For a short
Well,
little while.
I mean,
I
was.
did.
I was.
I had a
90 CRX.
I had a 95 Civic coupe. I don't have a picture of it anywhere. I had it on my old Facebook profile, my OG Facebook profile, but and it was a pretty slick little car. Then I had a 93 hatch, and then I got the 94 one back, or 95 back. But yeah, I mean, I would, in one of those, yeah, I would definitely make that trip because I like that with the way those ride.
Yeah.
But in that 626, they were uncomfortable.
They were stiff.
Foxy said 2007 Honda Fit. Since she's down that way anyway, she'd have to make the trip to New York
In reverse.
in
reverse, so they think you're going the other direction. Like, so you don't get pulled over.
But I'm like,
go ahead and rewind. Fuck, we are in a simulation. All right, sorry. Danger, Will Roger.
What's your? Let's hear it now. What's your downside? Why do you think it's a pointless run? I know we talked about it the other day.
Oh, me, yeah. Because I mean, this is the great nation of the United States of America. There's thousands of years of history that have yet to be seen. And yet we've got all this stuff to see, and nobody wants to see it. They just want to zip across you. Take your time. Why do you have to be 24 hours from coast to coast? What are you going to see? For what? How much money did it cost to do all that? And what did you win? What is the outcome? It's a financial burden to do, first of all. Even if I was a billionaire, I couldn't see myself wasting that kind of money for that kind of trip to be away from my wife and kids just to go fast down the highway and possibly get put in jail for up to 5 years, depending on how fast I was going.
What is
That's fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Now,
right?
if I knew I could get out of it, if I knew for a fact I could go from the Red Ball to the Portofino and I wasn't going to be locked away, and I knew that I could make it from that point to that point, oh yeah, let me pick the car and I'll do it in a stock car.
Oh yeah.
Or close to stock. And I'll do it blindly. I'll do it with a Google Maps GPS and be gone.
The entry fee is $20,000 and includes accommodations.
That's for Gumball?
No, that's Cannonball.
Oh, yeah. The original Cannonball was the same way.
According to this June 23rd, 2008 article from Motor Trend, 2024 prize money. That may be a different race. 150,000, 160,000. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no reward for the Cannonball. Because if there was, it would have to have at least an LLC. It would have to be some kind of business of some sort, even nonprofit. Because it would have to take in money in order to give out money, some kind of reward. Cannonball has no reward anymore.
Well, there's an update right here. As of October 2021, overall record of 25 hours, 39 minutes with an average speed of 113 miles an hour.
Yep.
Sorry, my boom's in the way, so I can't see my other screen.
Haha.
It doesn't say what the purse is, but I mean, you'd have to pay me some money for me to run that.
It definitely has to be more than $20,000.
Everything I've researched, and y'all probably found the same thing. It takes about 3 people to pull it off because you got to change drivers.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can't do it by yourself. Well, let me not say that. It can be done with one driver, but you'd have to be a driver, a real driver. I don't mean a truck driver either. I mean a real driver.
The recent activity of the Cannonball, though, has been interesting. It's like it's coming alive again, though.
They're starting to look at it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Gumball that's making it come back. Ed Bullion doing his run, and Arnie and Doug doing their run. They're bringing people back to it. Doing YouTube shots of it. Granted, they're not releasing the video for a year or two after they do it because they're not stupid.
Statutes and limitations, baby.
But I just hit off. Crap! He's getting rated in the middle of his YouTube video.
I mean, if I was, it'd have to be like perfect conditions. Single, one. I'm not married. Single, and two of people that I absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, trust, and that I know. One, I trust. Two, that can drive and won't get us hemmed up. But aside from that, I ain't touching it. Huh?
Who you taking?
Well, one that had to, it'd be you. And I guess this goober here, because he's not married. He ain't got nothing to lose.
You know what I'd take?
That's why you're taking me to Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know who I'd take? Easy pick.
Who's that?
You, obviously. And Jerry.
Yeah. He actually sent me a message a minute ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I was gonna actually read it on your Uncle Jerry, since we'll just give him a shout out. Great mechanic, everybody. Well, I call him Uncle Jerry. But anyway, he said it had to be a hard one to choose to drive the Cannonball. It'd be a 66 Barracuda Formula S or plain Jane. The one with a 4-speed or 3-speed on the column. Oh, gosh. Shifting that much from the column? No, I'm sorry. 273 motors. Both of them run like, I ain't gonna repeat that. Music will be Southern rock, a lot of coffee, RC cola, a few sandwiches, a lot of cookies. Stop to get gas and use the restroom back on the road. He said he's made the trip from Macon to Palm Springs in 30 hours. That's moving. That's cooking.
In an 87 Dodge long bed. No, it was a short bed. That 87 tan with the two-tone tan.
Yeah.
That cream with tan or whatever it was with the tan interior. Yep.
I don't know.
He did it the day he bought it. Drove it off the lot and straight to California he went.
I like Rat Mitchard's comment.
Which one?
The most recent one.
They said, for those who are listening, the passenger is a spotter and navigator. 2 people is the magic number. Nobody does it for the money. The purse is just just bait. You need a safe fuel cell and a sturdy car that can cruise in 100 miles. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, definitely at least at 100.
There's been a couple guys doing it on motorcycles and diesels. A guy did it in a diesel Volkswagen Passat.
Yep. Early 2001, right? Or was it an older model?
2014 Passat. And they did it in April of 2020. And it was 3 men. 3 men in a Passat? Good Lord. You know their backs were hurting.
I mean, it's a Passat. I bet their backs. Never mind. Oh, look.
Electric vehicle record 1968. A group from MIT did it. So this is pretty interesting, man. If you're gearheads and you got a little time to read or anything like that, and just kind of go over the whole thing. Of course, a lot of it's on Wikipedia. There's VinWiki on YouTube. A lot of other places, but it's pretty interesting. I mean, for me, like I said, if I had to, right as it is right now, out of all of our vehicles, of course, my Yukon's tore up. If my Yukon if I could swap the transmission to Yukon, Big Mama would make it from New York to. She'd make that run.
I'd still pick a different vehicle.
But it's comfortable, man.
Yeah, but you know how much you're spending gas?
Ugh.
I'd rather take my
Yeah,
Jeep.
but see that's not the point though. It's just kind of like you're, like what you were saying earlier, you're racing across country. You're not taking in all the views and all the sights and things like that. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, it's.
But the more gas it uses, the more times you're going to have to stop.
Right.
You want more efficiency than you want luxury. It's a race.
It
How many race cars have comfortable seats?
Yeah.
It's not about comfort. It's about time. Aluminum bucket seats.
No.
If I'm racing,
I'm sorry.
yeah. course,
get
I'm
out of
going
that car, I
with
wouldn't be
a
able to
carbon
walk.
monocoque chassis too.
Yeah, no, you'd be tired after 30 minutes. You'd be like, all right, fuck this shit.
I'd try to climb out of that race car. Somebody would have to help me. Jaws of life here.
Out. I grabbed a Velcro.
So what's the other ones that compare to this? It was a Gumball Rally.
Yeah, the Gumball Rally is a big. I mean, that's a rally. That's not a race. And they go from one point to another all over the place. They're either doing one now or about to start. In Singapore, I think, or somewhere in the Philippines. I don't know, but there's a YouTuber, Dave and Damon from DDE. They're doing that one. They've done the last 2 or 3, I think, but they did the one where it went from New York or somewhere in Canada down through New York all the way to Miami, and they stopped in Atlanta. But it's like you pay $150,000 to be a part of it, have to have this fancy car or whatever, and you just kind of rally down. It's not like a race. Nobody's really got time. But it's pretty awesome to see those cars just cruising through the states.
For me, I think the best, in my honest opinion, I'd have to do it in a diesel.
Less people at the diesel pumps.
Well, that, and you get better mileage with a diesel truck, especially if you got one of those that's deleted, like a Ram 2500. Let them turbos whine and just book it.
If you built it on like a 1970s, I don't know.
A Cummins swap Mercedes, the ones that the diesel Mercedes, a Cummins swap with a 6.7 turbo in it. Yeah. I think that you would ride out, man.
You'd be gone. Yeah. And there's somebody who has done it in a diesel powered vehicle. I think it was a Mercedes. Those little 4-liter turbo diesels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guys in that turbo diesel Passat, but
yeah, there's that. But we're talking about road cars.
I'm talking. They did it in 28 hours and 30 minutes, beating the previous record by more than 3 hours. 20. They averaged, and this is why diesels. They averaged 25.5 miles per gallon U.S. For our friends to the north, and 100.07 miles per hour over a 2,852 mile journey. Translate all that to kilometers, if you can. But
it's this far on the map.
We rock freedom fractions, miles per hour, and Fahrenheit down here. That was a poke at my buddy Craig up in Canada. We just talked about that. I was like, how hot was? I asked him how hot it was. He was like, it was 37 earlier, and I was like, wait, hang on. So I pulled my phone out.
Like it's Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. What the hell?
Yeah. I have a GED, so I can't do that off the top of my head.
I have a college degree, and I can't do it off the top of my head.
It's like, when I went up, me and my buddy Eddie went up to Niagara Falls. I'm cruising through the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, not paying attention, just cruising through their side of things, going to the Hard Rock Cafe, actually. And I got stopped by the cops.
The Mounties?
The Mounties. And
they have those nice horses?
No, he was in the car. That'd have been funny. He galloping up, pull over.
Horse is keeping up with you. You're doing 50. You're looking at him like, what the hell?
Pull over, eh?
No.
What's this all about?
Yeah. What's this?
Pull over.
Pull to the side.
He goes, you know how fast you're going? I was like, whatever the sign said, man. He's like, no, you weren't. And I was like,
oh, it's the little numbers.
Obviously, officer, Mountie, sir. You hear from my accent, you know that I'm not from here, eh?
Yeah, now's the time to be disrespectful to law enforcement.
Yep.
Smart mouth can get you locked up.
You know, locked up in Niagara Falls. That would have been a great story. He goes, no, you weren't. I was like, yeah, I'm not from here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to violate your country's laws. My bad.
My bad. A.
That'd have been, yeah, him just trot off. Slow down. Get whacked by the horse tail as he turns around. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like I said, I think it's a wild idea and it's a crazy story. Of course, I think at some point we'll cover the Cannonball Run movie. Just for
that's
fun.
A story in itself.
Yeah, they did Hollywood
started out as a bet.
They did Hollywood up the original story of things that went on, but Hal Needham being actually in one of the races that inspired the movie. And of course, if you don't know who Hal Needham is, I promise you go look him up. If you like he was a Hollywood stuntman that did all the stunts for Burt Reynolds and a lot of of course, we did a couple episodes ago on the Fall Guy movie and, you know, talking about stunts and things like that. You know, but just speaking of that, now this is off topic a little bit. How many times did watching TV as a kid did you go, I want to be a stuntman, or I want to be a mercenary for hire, the A-Team, or I want to be a Duke boy? How many times were you a Duke boy?
I'm still a Duke boy. What are you talking about? You can't take that away from me. It's my life. I'm gonna live it.
Pretty much anytime I watch the Dukes of Hazzard or Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of get inspired, throw on your cowboy boots, start walking around like you know.
Then remember you didn't put pants on? Yeah, I do that all the time. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, you know me. I ain't got no damn cowboy boots. Not in this house. It's at my other house.
A diesel is not a common choice for Cannonball Runs. I don't know why. Rat says diesels are pretty much trucks only now in America. A diesel is not a common choice for Cannonball Runs. I don't know, man. I mean, as a diesel mechanic myself, I think that would be my, you know, they're running these Cannonball Runs with whatever modified vehicle. You said anything goes, right? Anything modified.
That's the way Brock Yates started it. Anything goes.
Now, the story, like what we were talking about earlier, yeah. All about the early years. Great read. Yep. He just said that.
I might purchase that.
Yep. That's a good book.
Well, one of them finished jumping in a helicopter, flying to the finish line. getting their van towed to the finish line on the back of a
Hitting
semi.
rock.
Yeah, once if you're the inventor, if you started the whole thing, well,
I mean, you
you
need to
kind of
be
make
there at
up
the
your own
finish
rules.
anyways, but still. But no, I mean, there was no made up rules. He simply said, you got to go from the Portofino from the red ball to the Portofino. That's it. That's the only rule. Didn't say you had to be in a vehicle. You could have walked it and still beat everybody, whatever. It was just understood you needed a vehicle.
Right.
It's a good way of putting it.
Wow, that was his argument.
To
Just
me,
save
if it's,
face.
of course, my rule would have been, you got to finish it in the car you started it in. But that's me. My
That's
understanding,
because that's
I
the
guess.
gentleman's rule.
Well, I'm going to take the last few minutes here to talk about something that's very important to Turtle and I. And I'll pull it up as soon as I'm used to grabbing my mouse. There you go. Operation Tackle Box. Turtle, you want to take it from here and let me pull it up?
No, go for it. Operation Tackle Box is 5013C, I believe it is. It's a nonprofit organization. It's local here to the state of Georgia. They're based out of Sonoa, Georgia, and what they do is they take veterans out on fishing expeditions. They take them out, take them fishing, talk, not talk, just fish, whatever. And at the end of the trip, they get to keep the 2 fishing poles and reels, a small tackle box with some gear in it. They get, I think it's 2 T-shirts and a hat. Is the way it used to be, anyways. I'm not sure exactly what he gives away now at these expeditions, but he still does those, and he's getting into another string from Operation Tackle Box. It's going to be an overlanding type of thing, where he takes people out on these trails, and they go on trail rides and overland camping and all that whatnot. There's their page, their slogan, healing through reeling. And they help combat veterans get out of their dark spots, help them learn to relax and chill and find something to focus their fight on. That's their webpage.
Yep. Y'all go to Operation Tackle Box, even leave a donation. There's ways you can send it. They do have a raffle going on for I think we covered it, but I'll still cover it. Polaris Ranger. A brand new 2023 Polaris Ranger XP 1000 to one lucky winner. But yeah, I don't. That giveaway ends December 20th of this year.
Yep.
They're trying to purchase some land to go do their outdoor adventuring.
Yep.
So it really does help veterans, and everybody knows a veteran. They do help a lot. Of course, if you know a veteran, if you are a veteran and listen to this, thank you for your service. But yeah, so go check out Operation Tackle Box. They got hats, T-shirts, decals. Even if you want to go there and just give a donation, you can do that as well. They do a great. I was emailing with these guys back and forth over this last week, and I said, "Look, I've been doing your ad reads. I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been doing ad reads to promote y'all for a little while now, and I did ask them if there was a certain script. There's like, no, just do your thing. I was like, cool. So
yeah, the owner, Jacob, he's pretty laid back. He's a veteran himself, and it gave him the idea to do this when he got back from serving overseas. He was kind of lost. He didn't really know what to do with his life, and he was kind of down about it. So he went fishing, and he realized how much fishing meant to him. So he wanted to share that. So he started doing fishing trips and just finding veterans and be like, hey, you want to go fishing? Let's go fishing. Throw the poles on a boat, take off.
And once I figured it out, now there will be a link in our show notes. I figured out how to do that. See, I'm learning about this podcast stuff. Man. I know how to
Yay!
put links in show notes. And
I heard you can look on YouTube.
But Bubba did the little reel last week about the birthday Nana pudding.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to. I thought about making a clip of the Operation Tackle Box ad y'all just did and posting that too, and some of the clips from here on out, some of the funny clips and stuff like that.
So yeah, we're going to keep moving with this. I know there's been a lot of changes with Forever Road, and coming and going over the last. Well, we're on our second season. I counted the episodes the other day. This will be episode 36, which I should have announced that in the beginning. But hey, welcome to the best worst thing you've never seen.
Until now.
Until now.
And now. And
but yeah, we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep going, and I'm learning all this, and I'm very, very grateful. Went on and did our logo. I created a logo last week, and I will continue to support Failure to Stop. Eric's been great at helping me out, giving me advice and tips and pointers. So,
yeah, shout out Eric.
Yeah, Eric Tansey over there at Failure to Stop. Y'all go check them out as well. They are big supporters of our brothers and sisters in blue, law enforcement and first responders. So they cover different subjects every day throughout the week. And next weekend, I'll go ahead and say this because he and I talked about it the other day. It's going to be fun. I don't know. Should I announce it now?
Oh, you done teased everybody.
Yeah, you done teased everybody.
Yeah, might as well. So next weekend, we're going to cover. I love NASCAR history. I don't watch NASCAR much anymore, but I love NASCAR history. And back in the day, there was the first African American NASCAR driver. His name was Wendell Scott. And they made a movie on it, and starring role who played Wendell Scott was Mr. Richard Pryor. The movie was called Grease Lightning. And it was pretty funny. If you ever seen it, and if you haven't seen it, I implore you to go watch it. Seriously, it's a great, great movie. One of the Bridges, I think Jeff Bridges is in it. I think he's the one that's in it. But it's Richard Pryor, Jeff Bridges. I'd have to go in through the IMDb, and we'll cover that whenever we go. But a guy from Failure to Stop, he's a stand-up comic, Mr. J. Darrell White, will join us next week. So y'all please tune in. It's going to be fun and more than likely very funny. I've been wanting to do that. And I'll talk to you off camera as why I thought about Jay Darrell, but I talked to him about coming on previously, and then I saw the advertisement on Netflix or one of the movies streaming about that movie, and I was like, oh, that'd be great because I love NASCAR history. So, and I actually asked him if he's seen the movie. He said it's one of his favorites as well. So I got to rewatch it and make my notes. Y'all, if you want to watch it, well, you won't be here next week, Turtle.
No, I'll be dancing around a campfire.
Yep, go dance around your campfire. And I believe Bubba will be here too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't got nothing to do anyway.
Kids these days.
But all right, and I will send us out. Y'all got anything else? Any dad jokes? Anything? Nothing?
Nah. My dad jokes are not safe for human consumption.
Don't do it naked.
That's what my
Don't do
lawyer
what
said.
naked? I'm not wearing pants
The
now.
Cannonball? Don't do it naked.
I think I think they meant don't jump around the campfire naked.
Oh, okay.
Now, why would I do that?
Foxy said, "Don't do it naked."
Don't do it naked.
Naked. But yeah,
That's kind of the point of jumping around the fire, isn't it?
he's going to finally do his official gender reveal. I'm a dude. Woohoo!
We'll go do the helicopter dance around the campfire.
To falk around and find out, or as I call her, Foxy, Rat Mitchards, which still hurts my brain to say it. Thank y'all for joining us in the chats and everybody else. I think that's all I basically saw. Thank you for everybody who watches us. Please go on to Spotify. Click the like and subscribe buttons. Go in your auto download. Go into your settings. Hit auto downloads. It really does help us. And until next week, brothers and sisters, the road does indeed go on forever. And I love y'all. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the Forever Road podcast with Bosco. Hey, you can find and follow us at Instagram and Facebook, or just drop us a line or a question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time on the Forever Road podcast.